Bengals fan. Talk during the fucking intro.
Go ahead.
I want to talk during the intro. This is quite possibly. I gotta be honest with you. The league should be under investigation for this draft choice. I feel like they're setting the Bengals up. I feel. How many projects? This is like having 17 projects going at one time. When you have possibly the greatest football player on the planet right now.
Arguably.
Has a good argument at it.
I think so. We'll get into it. All right, Brandon. It's a big weekend for you.
So I've heard. Got
And
some things going on.
You started the weekend. We're in beautiful Myrtle Beach.
Great weather. Everything changed. The whole week changed for the weather.
Got a stogie.
Got some great bourbon. Played a really good round of golf. That encapsulates the entire thing that just happened. And the lights went out.
And my light went out.
And the lights went out. Because the Bengals did what the Bengals do at the 17th pick of the NFL draft. Instead of taking a player that's a plug-and-play player at multiple positions of need, they take an edge rusher who has zero production, is nothing but a building block. Listen, Shemar Stewart, I great guy as far as combine numbers and a lot of other intangibles, right?
Mm-hmm.
But will he be? We're paying three guys over $100 million, so we need somebody who can play immediately. Joe Burrow window, and now we're talking about a guy that's probably 2 or 3 years out from being polished. Has zero production in college. Transferred from zero production and went to a new school and had zero production. Congratulations, you have a 43-inch vertical leap. You know what you don't have? Sacks.
You said 3 years away from just being polished. Not being an NFL impact player.
Not a game wrecker. From being a polished professional. 2 to 3 years is my guess.
By that time, you got to re-sign him.
And by that time, now you're dealing with new contracts coming up for Jamar, T. That'll never happen. And Joe. Those guys those negotiations will start 3 years from now. In 2027, 2028. And they're going to have just a guy. Or he develops. But we're not at a point where you can just take best available on the board. We have too many holes.
The number one hole was being able to get to the quarterback.
Have you played offensive guard for the Cincinnati Bengals, Faye?
I have not.
I would like it if you tried. Because it's just been a turnstile. I would rather have an orange cone than have what we've had. We had the worst pass rush guard in the NFL.
Wow.
The worst in the NFL. And guess what? We passed the ball more than any team in the NFL. Over 70% of the times we drop back and pass. And instead of doing that, we take just a a guy that's going to be
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete, but he's also a work in progress.
I think that's nice that you said it that way.
Thank you. and by the way, what else you say? Just a work in progress, and not. You need somebody if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, is a plug and play player at 5 positions. At 5 positions, you're not making a splash with him to put a note in Trey Hendricks. That didn't send a message to Trey Hendricks and say, "Look, we drafted your replacement." Trey Hendricks is not afraid of losing snaps to him.
I wouldn't be. I've seen the film. I don't like anything I see. But you said something before we got on here. You said you would rather trade that draft pick, Shamar Stewart,
correct,
for who the Bears drafted.
Correct.
There's no Michigan bias in that.
No Michigan bias in it. I'm telling you right now, I think there's a handful of game changers in this draft class. Colston Loveland's one of them, and I don't mean that as a Michigan fan or bias. I think he opens up the playbook to Brad Johnson and the Chicago Bears like you won't believe. And I think he's going to I think he went to the perfect place for him. I think he's going to be great.
I hope so. I'm going to take your word for it.
Hope is not a strategy. I'm telling you right now. He's going to be 1,000-yard receiver year 1. Mark it down.
What, tight end? That's record breaking.
Put it. It is.
Put it on the receipt.
You know.
Brock Bowers.
It's Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
You know the list is Brock Bowers.
That's it.
That's it.
Brock Bowers and Dicker.
Laporta came close.
He did. He didn't top Dicker though.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He broke Dicker's record. He was about 900 yards and change. I'm telling you, he's going to get it because of the offense, Brad Johnson's offense, and the fit. It's not going to be. It's just good stuff. Wait, you want to bet that?
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's go.
You want to bet $100 on a 1,000-yard season? All right. We have a live bet here with a groomsman, by the way, in my wedding. Mike Freeman and I have a $100 bet.
We got this right here live.
It's right here live. I'm telling you right now.
Now,
1,000 yards. Mark it down.
Your co-host Tim Lyon, who's watching right now, he's saying that you need to get some water. You need some H2O right now. Maybe taking that bet. Maybe taking that bet was a little bit fast. He said you need some H2O, but he agrees with you about
those two things aren't connected.
No. But he is calling you a little sauce. He is saying that, but he does agree with you about Shamar Stewart not being a Trey Henderson replacement.
There might be a brown bag branding going on.
Of course,
there might be.
It's a good weekend. Why not?
It's a great weekend. It was a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun so far. But I'll say this. I'm more sober than whoever picked Shamar Stewart and picked 17.
I think we know who that is. This is a Mike pick, right? This got to be a Mike pick.
It's somebody that just watched the combine and did not watch college football.
I agree. I wanted the Bears to stay far away from Shamar Stewart.
Congratulations.
we did very good in that category. We stayed far away from defense.
I feel fantastic about it.
Oh man. So
questioning my whole life decisions right now. Bengals fans, it's okay to question your fandom. It's okay. We keep making horrible decisions when it comes to draft choices. And it's okay to question it.
When's your next pick?
49.
49. That's not too far from now. That's pretty high in the second round.
But it's going to have to be a guard. It's got to be a Tate Ratledge. It's got to be a plug-and-play right guard. If it's not, okay, fire it back up. More sauce, and more. I'll just call it a storm.
Yeah.
There's going to be more to come if the Bengals don't fill offensive guard at 49.
Now,
What are we doing?
They do say that the meat of this draft, as far as offensive linemen is concerned, they expect those to go second half of second round, majority of third round.
2 and 3. Yeah,
Yes.
2 and 3.
So the Bengals stack up there.
But if you have that big of a glaring hole,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 2 and 3 are the rounds, you have to be one of the teams that go in 2. If you have that big of a glaring hole.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a glaring hole, you take best available and you go 3.
Okay.
We are not in that situation.
I agree.
And we solved 0 problems at pick 17. We solved not one problem, Pay. We had pick 17, the 17th pick in the draft, and we solved 0 issues. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
A team
I think
full of issues solves 0 issues.
I sympathize, and I'm I know your pain very well.
But at least you got what most people consider a top 10 or 5 talent.
I can see that.
We did not.
He's still an athlete, though. He's an athlete.
Congratulations. I want football players, not athletes.
I mean, you definitely need them in playing this sport. And with your specific window of opportunity, you definitely need guys that can come in, as you say,
plug and play.
Right. And I agree that Shamar Stewart is more so a project. Not the guy you tell.
And I love the projects.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to draft him at 17. And yes, I did mean that in both senses of the word as far as projects go. But at 17, we don't need another one. We have Myles Murphy.
Yeah.
You know what Myles Murphy's out there doing? If you guys don't see, go to IG, go to X or Twitter, whatever they call it this week, and see what Myles Murphy's putting out there. His tape's incredible. He is a workout warrior. Him and Shamar Stewart probably going to work out together and be besties.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell does that have to do with tackling the quarterback? Nothing. 0. Because the production from both of them has not been there. Think about this. Joseph Osai coming back on a $7 million 1-year prove-it deal is our second best option rushing the passer. And that's assuming that Trey Hendrickson shows up, and that's not a guarantee. Poor planning on the Bengals' part. I can't sugarcoat it.
Can't sugarcoat it. We got some comments. Austin's Art, who they?
Love Double A. He been riding with us for a long time. He's also a weird cat. Bengals and Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see that very often. It's like you like chili on your spaghetti and you also like cheesesteak. So it is what it is.
That is different. That's pretty different. I don't know about that. I knew they were going to do some blank crap like this. You expect that from the Bengals? This is supposed to be a new era.
Short answer, yes. The long answer, I thought by the fact that we were re-signing some of our players that we have not done in the past, paying people outside of quarterback. We've always paid quarterbacks. Outside of quarterback, we've never paid. I thought for a second, maybe, just maybe, we'd have a changing of the guard, changing of the picks. Nope. No, same old shit.
Same old shit. Shamar Stewart is not going to help the Bengals at pick 17. It's just going to be an even bigger headache.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to be a workout warrior. I can't wait to see what he posts on IG. He's going to be jumping high and lifting a lot of weights. No sacks.
No sacks. Well, I mean, that's usually how he gets down, though. No sacks.
No sacks.
A lot of hurries, though.
Couple.
Couple. When we did the film breakdown on him for the channel Frustrated Chicago Sports Fans, we saw him with no real technique, no real moves. He was getting bulldozed by Mimbu and Banks and
Anytime
Campbell.
he played against, and and this is something I'm glad you brought up. This is something I bring up with all of our podcast nation. Well, it's hard to play against the Michigan defensive line. It's hard to play against the LSU offensive line. Guess who you're going to be playing against when you get to the pros? Those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be playing against Jags. You're not going to be playing against the small schools. And you're going to be playing against professionals.
Yes.
So you have to come correct.
Every Sunday.
You can't just half-ass it and be done.
No.
And I'll tell you this. When it comes to getting pressure, I'd rather have Walter Nolan at this pick. I'd rather have the kid out of Oregon. At least maybe at nose tackle, still can get up the field. I expect Chris Jenkins to take a step. I don't think people understand having a broken thumb what it does to an interior defensive line as far as getting around and getting off blocks. I expect him to be better. But get pressure from someone. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Trey. But hope is not a strategy.
No. You come into the draft night with hope, and you want to leave it, with a lot of optimism. And it looks like you still holding on to the same bag of hope. You came into the night with.
And listen, Shamar Stewart is a great pick for a team that can afford to take chances.
Yeah.
And the Bengals aren't that.
No.
9-8 and lost 7 of 8 games by 1 score or less. And you're that close and you pick a project. I don't get it. I apologize to all my Bengals fans out there. Like, I'm not trying to be a dark cloud. I've been a ray of sunshine over the past couple months. I've backed off of leadership and said they're doing the right thing. We have 4 people in scouting, and this shows now.
I think I've said that. Made mention of that before. It was a conversation between you and Big G.
Do you know how many people are in scouting at Philadelphia?
I want to say 14.
21.
The largest scouting department in the NFL.
Correct. And guess what they do? They get it right.
You definitely, out of 21 guys, well, maybe women too. I'm not sure. But out of
21 people can argue about
right
and not come up with a project at 17.
You're going to find some type of good analysis.
Someone has to push back on that.
Yes.
Someone has to push back. Is he a great athlete? Undisputably, yes. One of the best in the draft. Is he a great football player?
I don't think so. Not right now, at least.
I concur.
3 years from now, he might be, though.
He might be great.
Yeah.
But right now.
That window. Do you have 3 years left in that window?
We're starting to renegotiate all kinds of contracts at that point.
It's tough.
You owe it to Joe Burrow, who is elite, to be elite at drafting, to be elite at everything in the front office. And you've put no resources into it. You put 4 people in there, and Duke Tobin is direct vice president or president of player personnel. You have no GM, you have no nothing, and that shows. It's not that the Bengals are being cheap by not paying their players. They're not. They're paying them. They're putting money into the stadium. They're putting money into everything that's been an issue on the NFLPA platform. But don't be cheap when it comes to scouting. It's the most important thing you're going to do after you get right. You got Joe Burrow right. You got Jamar Chase right. You owe it to everybody to invest in scouting. Like, how How is it 4 people? Get out of here.
This might make you feel a little better.
We have 4 homies,
I know.
and we do more. I think we do more work than they do. Like I'm gonna say it.
They drafted a tackle. Derek Harmon going to Pittsburgh.
Derek Harmon's a good fit for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He will be the heir apparent to Hayward. He'll be a guy that can get upfield. He'll be a guy that can also play the run. Also, not a great tackler, but when we talk about projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to a team who is notably the 2 teams in the NFL that tackle well and play physically, even during all their training camps and everything, are the Ravens and the Steelers. He's going to learn to tackle. He's going to flourish. That's probably the best spot he could have went for himself, in my mind.
So coming into the draft night, I think most people would have said, as far as standings in the AFC North, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and fighting for the bottom, Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
I like what Cleveland did today.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think they got the best. Well, I don't think. Yeah, they got the best player in the draft, but they did. They got better.
That was the best trade or front office move that I think the Cleveland Browns have ever made.
Ever?
Yep.
I mean, they've drafted Hall of Famers before. B.
I'm telling you. Knowing you needed more than one person.
Okay.
And knowing where you're at, and I also think they don't care. I think they would rather draft a quarterback at 20 next year than at 2 this year.
I think that's smart.
And I think it's great.
Yeah.
That's probably the smartest thing. And I doubt I think they're going to be drafting 20 or earlier next year. And I think 3 quarterbacks next year are going to be better than any quarterback this year.
I agree with everything you said there, especially that Cleveland's better than Pittsburgh going into the season.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you didn't have to say it, but I've read your mind.
Mason Rudolph.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say.
Mason Rudolph. Jamar Stewart's still on the board, huh?
Shedeur Sanders. Shamar Stewart.
I'm sorry. Shamar Stewart he has a home.
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders is still on the board.
Probably second rounder at this point, right?
I can't see anybody that's still available in the first round draft.
I don't see it either.
No. He's a second rounder. I think that's why he stayed home. I think he knew better.
Well, and I also find it odd though, because if you're going to draft him at 40, you should draft him at 24, because you get an extra year at a quarterback. You get that 5th-year option.
That's smart.
I think maybe we see someone here trade back into 28, 29. Or something, and take the quarterback here. Maybe we see there's a lot of connections with him and his family and everything with the Saints.
Yeah.
Maybe the Saints trade back into the end of the first round. Maybe something like that happens. The Steelers can't. They don't have a second round pick. So they're not trading back in. They made their bet. Maybe you see the Saints trade back in. Maybe.
Now, for those that don't know, what relationship does that family have with the New Orleans Saints?
So the offensive coordinator and coach were involved with Dion at I don't remember what level, to be honest with you.
I think
Jackson State, maybe. But there is a history there, and there is a familiarity. So, and listen, the kid completed 74% of his passes last year.
A lot of them were near the line of scrimmage.
We're playing in the Big 12, and they're near the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of question marks, and there's decision making outside of the pocket that become questionable. That he Normally one because of playing lesser competition.
True.
But if it's your second pick and you can maybe trade back in and you don't have to play him the first year,
Right.
right? I think that's a great situation for everybody involved. So it's about hitting the situation as much as it is the player, right? Hit the situation. You don't have to play him on day one. Don't have that expectation. I like it for him. I hope they trade back into the end of this round and snag him because I think it could be good for both parties.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that. I think that would be good for him. And, you know, as you say, he's playing in the Big 12. He's already got his number retired. So the kid,
13 wins. Get your number retired. Remember that, kids. Every time you give up on your dreams, all you got to do is be one game above 500. You can get your number retired.
or, you know, if your dad's a Hall of Famer and has major pull.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might be part of it.
Some of it.
It's a good.
Just
it's
a
good
little
point.
bit.
It's
Just a little
point.
bit.
It's good
Yeah.
point.
Okay. So what else we got here? You said the Bengals, their next draft pick is number 49.
Yeah.
They have to hammer offensive line.
If Tate Ratledge is there, take him.
Mm-hmm.
Period. He is a plug and play right tackle
Okay.
or right guard, excuse me. And we need a right guard. And high character, unanimous captain at Georgia, and just a dude, right? So, okay. You took a reach at 17. For me not to set you on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Tate Ratledge at 49, and I'll be okay.
Any other names?
Have you heard of Tate Ratledge? I would be happy with Tate Ratledge, or, hear me out, Tate Ratledge. And maybe a Tate Ratledge at 49.
I get what you're going. I get where you're going.
Plug and play right guard. Don't give me a right tackle that might be able to play right guard. No, you get that guy in the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get that guy here. Plug and play a guy that might be an all-pro for 5 years. Take that dude. Take that dude. There were people that thought he was as good as Tyler Booker in some circles.
Really?
In some circles.
Tyler Booker went 12. That shocked me.
Did you see it? Okay, Bengals fans, you want to talk about people doing jumping jacks and wearing tights and working out? Tate Ratledge has more raw athletic score, has a higher raw athletic score than Tyler Booker does.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So why the full round of separation?
Because Tyler Booker is
Alabama.
mean.
Yeah.
Mean. And he means it. He finds it offensive if someone gets to his quarterback. He loves to maul people. He is mean.
I thought he would have
I
cost
love
himself some money with his scouting combine performance.
You know why he didn't? Tape.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie. Tate.
Yeah.
Pay. Tate. That was a Tate-ism. That's the
Yeah,
reason
it
why
is.
I said it. Ball don't lie.
Shout out to the
That
Quad Father.
dude is that dude.
Shout out to the Quad Father. He's checking in. Yes, we are having a first round draft party / bachelor party
Slash meltdown.
/
Meltdown. Quad.
This podcast stuff is
Hold on a
stuff
second,
legends
hold
are
on a
made
second.
of.
Mike. Bartender, I need a refill. I got a call for one.
You
I
got
got
it?
a call for one.
Maybe me too.
Yeah, make it 2.
Meltdown.
Terrible.
Meltdown bachelor party. Austin's art.
Yeah.
What do you guys want?
Yes. Ice and liquor.
Do you have a
And
chocolate
Yeho or no, we don't.
Hey,
No.
what do you want, bro?
2 new ones.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. Just
Ice,
liquor,
ice,
ice.
And, ice and Yeho.
I do like anejo. It's some
Añejo?
ice. That's perfect.
Yeah, nice.
I appreciate it.
In case you were wondering what our flavor was.
Always the brown. Brown tequila is the best. All right. So we know where the Bengals have to go next round. They got to hammer the necessity. And I feel like they need to hammer it again in the third round.
No.
No?
No, because I think in the 5th or 6th round, that's where you go like a tackle guard hybrid.
Okay.
And you get value there. And I think that's good. I think 3 and 4, you have too many options at safety and running back and cornerback that an edge rusher, to be honest with you, at 3 or 4, you're going to see guys that fit the Bengals edge rush.
That's who I wanted the Bears to get in the second round.
Who is that?
Amarion Hampton.
That's a hardball pick, though.
Yeah, it is.
Just going to feed him the rock.
Yeah, I'm drafting him in fantasy. Just he will be on my team.
You're not.
He will be on my team.
Not. You're not. I'm just going to tell you right now. Yeah, you're not going to get him.
Oh, man.
Because you're going to try and hold out until like 3rd or 4th round, and I'm going to snipe him.
Snipe.
I think he's a 2nd round fantasy football pick.
I do too. If I get the right draft pick, he will be coming to the pace.
Well, I hope you get first pick.
Well, then no, that won't be ideal for me. I do not like the first pick.
Did I live by the sword, die by the sword?
Yeah,
I took CMC 2 years in a row.
Don't do it again this year.
Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I was there
2 years ago. I won the chip.
Yeah.
Last year, I did not.
Dookie. He said he feels great this year, though.
That's somebody else's problem. That's for him to talk it out with some other fantasy football. Yeah. I'll draft his backup in the 6th round.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you,
Father. Maybe a little strong.
It's just two ingredients. It can't be a little strong. It can only be a lot strong.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, it tastes like bottled water. Honestly.
Quiet Father, hashtag fire Ryan Pose, taking Loveland over Warren. Now,
hold on. If I want to ask you this, do you know how long Kmet is signed for?
He's got another 3 years.
So he's got at least 2 left.
Yeah, they just signed him like last offseason.
I think they signed him 3 years last year, right? So he's got. I think
he's about that.
It's either 2 or 3 years. I get what you're saying. Devil's advocate, though.
Okay, I'm listening.
You got your inline guy already.
Right.
Now you got a guy that's basically going to play slot and 12 personnel. And if you all the things that the Bears have done well or bad over the past 20 years.
That's a lot of things.
I trust Brad Johnson more than I trust Mike Brown, Katie, Emily, like the whole Bengals organization, right?
Yeah.
I trust Brad Johnson more. And I think what he's looking at is Tyler Warren is more of that inline and
more of a mauler.
He does have a Swiss Army knife complex to him because he played quarterback in high school and blah, blah, blah. But as far as route running, route tree, and next level Sam Laporta type production, that's the reason why I have $100 bet now. I think. Do you know the only thing that's worrying me about that $100 bet?
What's that?
Caleb Williams.
Ooh, why would Caleb Williams be the worry?
Because I want him to make that next step. And I think, and I told you this last year, and I was on your side last year, I think he could be that guy. I thought he was going to have some serious learning curve and concerns, and guess what he did for the first 8 games of the year? Learning curve and concerns.
Yeah, right.
And what did he do the last 6?
He balled out.
Played well.
Yeah, it did.
So now you give Brad Johnson that and you give Brad Johnson Loveland, and you give Brad Johnson Komet, I wouldn't be surprised to see. Yeah, I think you get a defensive player in round 2, but I think you get another running back or weapon in round 3 or 4, and and that's who Brad Johnson is, right?
Okay. I'm not. The more I sit with it, it's like a dirty pamper. The more you sit in it, you get more comfortable, right? It feels a little.
It gets a little warm.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
No. Well,
But it initially, because Jalen Walker, I did not in my wildest dreams, Jalen Walker
he just
falling.
made an analogy about sitting in his own shit. I don't know how that's gonna sit, but
yeah, I did. But Jalen Walker falling to us.
we're not on the Steel Curtain Network, right?
No,
Okay, cool. Yeah,
No.
Then you can talk about whatever you want.
exactly,
Yeah, you can shit
exactly.
your
I
pants
don't
if you
don't have to abide by the censorship rules.
want.
So
We love y'all, by the way.
Jalen
But
Walker
if you don't
falling.
know, it's the police over there.
Yeah. I run a more free ship over there in the Chicago side, and you do too.
I do.
So with Jalen Walker falling to us, I just felt, oh yeah, we won the draft. We won the draft because now we buttoned up our defense. Every weakness we had on that side of the ball was already taken care of.
You run a 3-4, right?
No, we run a
4-3.
4-3, nickel. 4-3 nickel.
4-3 and Nick.
Right.
I don't know that that's a great fit though, right?
See, but we don't have anybody opposite Montez Sweat to.
I think you're gonna find a 4-3 edge rusher in rounds 2, 3, 4.
Hopefully.
I'm telling you, there's guys out there that people are sleeping on that are 275, 285 edge rushers. Everybody keeps talking about D tackle and running backs in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
The 4-3 edge, fairly deep in this draft. I think you get good, productive day 1 players in rounds 3 and 4.
Okay. I'm gonna hold out hope for that. The only thing I would hate to see is that anybody in our division, like the Lions or the Packers, end up with. Because I don't think Jalen Walker's been drafted yet.
Hold on.
No, he went
you
to
said
Atlanta.
Lions.
Right.
Hold on a second. Let my friend sit in here. You can have a seat here. Sit down. This is my friend Eric Kissel. He's a resident Lions fan
Yes, sir.
slash wedding officiant.
Let's go.
So I'll let you in here. What did you think about the Lions pick?
I'm on that James Pierce train. I want to get
I
him
would
out of
hate
Tennessee
that
real
so
bad. But
so
there's-
bad.
There's just too much room between here and then. I think we'll get homeboy out of Marshall. Mike Green.
Mike Green. I think Mike Green's better than James Pierce.
I mean,
Production says so. And aloofness, right?
The only thing is,
So
he
when
might
you
end up
hear
in
the
jail.
when you hear the word aloof with a college football player, not something I want to hear on a day 1 draft. James Pierce has a lot of talent.
He does.
Bad edge, he's got a lot of talent, but aloof in day 1, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Also, I'd pass on someone that's like I don't know, like a warrior, a workout warrior that might be a project. I'd pass on that too. So
like Shamar Stewart.
that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
He does come to mind.
But what about the off-field concerns with these two? James Pierce, Mike Green. Don't care. Just rather get guys.
Man, we've been dealing with JMO's off-field concerns for so long.
And he's on the trade block now. So he's like,
But we didn't dump him to move up. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna keep him.
okay.
We'll see. I like JMO.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. As far as Mike Green, I'd rather have someone wired hot. How about that?
I agree.
I'd rather have someone wired hot.
Especially playing this game.
Have you ever heard of an edge rusher? I'll throw a name out there. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't heard of this guy before. Lawrence Taylor. He went to the University of North Carolina. His little sweet spot for you.
His name rings a bell.
A little hot, right?
I don't know. Every now and then when you're not watching him, he got a little cooler.
So
Just a little.
little drip, drip.
Yeah, in the locker room before the game.
I'm just
a
saying,
tad.
listen, I'll take a chance on an edge rusher being a little bit of a hothead
Uh-huh.
before I'll take an offensive lineman that's in a hothead. It just comes with the territory, right?
It does. I hope the Packers draft a punter.
Do you think? I'm going to ask you this question because we're in a little bit. Even though we're in Myrtle Beach,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a little bit of Steeler territory because it's a lot of Steelers fans here.
It's a lot of them.
Do you think? I'm just throwing this out there. Recklessly speculating. Do you think the steel curtain would have been squeaky clean if Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all those things existed then? Do you think Mel Blount would have been squeaky clean in 2025?
I
I'm
don't think so. No.
Asking that question.
No.
Do you think Mean Joe Green might have been mean off of the field?
I think he
At
threw somebody
times.
through a window. Didn't he do that?
You know, if it was on video, everybody would want him out of the league. Right? So I'm
Well, if Green Bay
saying.
took a wide receiver. You knew that was going to happen.
So I'm saying if
He's
you're
from
gonna take,
Notre Dame, right?
if you're gonna take
Texas.
Texas.
a
okay.
little bit of a reach, or you're going to take a little bit of a problem child, if you're going to take a little bit of a character issue, take it on an edge rusher. Take it on a guy that's going to disrupt things. That's his job.
I agree. I mean, you definitely want some guys that can maybe bang their head in the locker before going out there on the field. Maybe a little,
You want
a
some
couple of
snot
screws.
bubbles? You want
Yeah.
some snot bubbles.
A couple of screws loose. That doesn't. That helps. That helps.
Do you remember? Yeah. Snot bubbles.
Quad Father says, "Hey, a little sniff speeds you up." I agree. I need to get sped up myself.
That's right. It's not about the trip. It's about the destination, and it's sacking a quarterback. You got to do some blow to get in backfield, go nuts.
Hey, whatever happens, whatever works.
Love it.
Whatever works. So, what are you looking for out of Detroit? You said you would love to get James Pierce, but let's just say instead of the name, what about the position?
We just need to get to the quarterback, man. Losing Aiden last year, and then just not getting pressure until we got Sedarius, who's gone.
Could be back, right? He's
Could.
still out there in free
Mhm.
agency.
I mean, his homegrown cash style's trying to get him back, so we'll see what's going on with that. It's just that the price is
And-
right.
and-
Brad doesn't
and-
mess around with the numbers, like.
And let me ask you this, Eric. When do you expect to see full Aiden Hutchinson? Like, do you expect it at all this year, or do you expect it the following?
Oh, week one. I mean, he was supposed to be back. He was supposed to be back by the
But
Super
he's
Bowl.
not going to be him.
Oh, he's going to be him.
You think he's going to be himmy right off rip?
I do. I
Wow.
just think he's got
Wow.
that motor in him. He's already running full speed. I think he's going to be good.
I know, but it's different.
Yeah, he
It's
tore
different.
the hell out of his leg last year.
Broke
Yeah.
multiple bones.
Yes.
And I do expect him to play. I don't expect him to be him. I would say week 8. I would be happy with week 6 or 8 to be him. When you say him, Aiden Hutchinson, top 5 defensive player in the league, right? Yeah, as him.
Yeah, but he had a full off season to get right, and he was supposed to be back by Super Bowl. So,
But so when you say he'll be back and he'll be him, do you expect him to be top 5 or do you expect him to be top 25? Like, where do you expect him to be 100% him? Top 5 player in the league.
yeah, because we're not talking about a D end who is in the twilight of his career where that happened.
And you know what? He's also not just out devil's advocate on your own behalf here. He's not also just beholden to bending the corner or whatever. That guy can bull rush. That guy has moves. That guy does a lot of things, Eric. He doesn't just bend the corner and get around
No.
the edge. He does a lot of things. I don't know. Maybe you're swinging my vote a little bit. I don't expect him to be. I expect him to be a top 25 player when all the dust settles this year, and next year.
Well, top 25 player, top 20
defensive player. Top 25.
Top 25
He'll be
defensive
he'll
player?
be a top 10 defensive player. He'll come out the gate ready to go.
I think tell me if I'm wrong here, Pay. When he is at full strength, I think of him as a top 5 defensive player. I really do.
The first half of last season, he was definitely at full strength. He was definitely a top 5 game breaker. The first 5
But
weeks
he-
of the year.
but
He was a
So
sack
he's
leader
also
2 weeks
like
after
Max.
he was injured.
So this is the thing that's different between Trey Hendrickson and Aiden Hutchins and Max Crosby. Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby make tackles on rushing plays. Trey Hendrickson does not. Trey Hendrickson averages 42 tackles, 17 and a half sacks the past 2 years, and 42 tackles. Do you know what Max Crosby does when he's healthy? 80 to 90 tackles and about 16 sacks.
That's why he's paid the big bucks.
And now Trey Hendrickson wants it, but he only does one part of that equation. And I'm not saying don't give him his money, don't give him 4 years. The Bengals shouldn't give him 4 years. Here I go, right? I burnt the Bengals down earlier. I stick with them right now, not paying him for 4 years. He's not worth it. He's going to be 32. He's going to be 35. Do you know how many rushers, pass rushers, have had double-digit sacks after the age of 35?
I can't name too many.
Well, I'm going to give you some names.
Julius Pepper's one of them?
He's not.
No. Wow.
But, by the way, after 30, he's one of the top sack leaders after 30. Have you ever heard of Bruce Smith?
Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Sack leader, right? Career sack leader.
Have you ever heard of Reggie
I'm gonna
White?
say he's got to be in that list.
Yeah. Reggie's a dog.
So, as I go through that list, I look at it. Here's the thing. 3-4 defense with Bruce Smith, and he was listed as an end. Would you consider Bruce Smith an edge rusher?
Yes.
I would not, because I think just as many, if not more, of his sacks came from inside the tackle box than outside the tackle box. So, by my math, 0 people over the age of 35 have been a true edge and had multiple 10-year sack seasons. So why am I paying that dude that money? To do what? Something that's never been done in history? I'm not willing to bet on that. Hey, we have a podcast that's just based on probabilities. Right? It's called Pay Dirt. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you're not, you should be, because we win about 60% of the times you can make a lot of money.
Every Wednesday during the NFL season. Check us out, Pay Dirt.
If I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet on Trey Hendrickson to be productive at 34 and 35 the way he is now. So I'll give you 2 or 3 years. I'll give you 2 years for whatever the hell you want, right? If it's $70 million for 2 years.
35 a year?
Cool. 2 years. And you know the hang up? I'm telling you the hang up. I know it. I'm not questioning it. I know it. I've already been told. He wants 4. And you know what he didn't find when he went and saw a trade?
No one's giving him 4.
No one's giving him 4. He can get 35 for 2. He can't get 30 for 4. He can. And you know how much of it's guaranteed? 45. A year and a half. Because you can't keep doing what he's doing.
Your boy Tim Lyons wants to say congratulations. You've got a lot going on this week. Congratulations to B and Jess. What direction I'm supposed to? Quadfather, what's up? What's up, Tim? Welcome to the 3. Blah blah blah. Don't guys. Let's find another good comment in here somewhere. Brown bag. Tim said brown. Your brown bag B.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Quadfather, how many shots has B Dirt drank tonight? Over under 15. I'll take the over. Hashtag P Dirt.
Actually, that's a pretty good line.
Don't forget golf.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about 8 a.m. golf?
I think we need to add that in.
Okay, 8 a.m. to now. Shots and drinks, obviously.
Uh-huh. A drink is
Sorry.
worth two shots.
So I had 2 drinks on the course.
Okay.
I had 1 outside the course, so it's 3. So it's 6. I had 1, 2, 3, probably 4. So 10.
I was going to put you at 13 today.
13. That's a trooper.
And I'm really close to 15.
You're close, yeah.
I'm really, you know what? That's a great line.
It's a good line.
Vegas should put you on something there. I think you're spot on. You need a half that. I need 14 and a half or 15 and a half. I really think if we go back through it,
How many more you got left in you?
at least 2.
At least.
At least 2.
So basically we're gonna zoom past that line there, Quadfather. Great line. Giants just traded back into the first round.
Yep.
Oh, Shador.
Yeah.
Is that Shador?
They're gonna get Shador.
And that's a 5th-year option. It's what I said. I don't like anybody going to the Giants, right? So I'd rather him go to the Saints. But it's the same shit. Like, he's going to go learn and sit behind 2, pretty shitty quarterbacks.
True.
If you're drafted in the first round and you sit behind Russell Wilson, and you didn't do well at training camp. You didn't do what you needed to do when you.
Well, I think he's going to. I don't think they will even sniff the possibility of him playing to start. I don't.
At least not coming out of camp. No, I don't think so.
I think it's going to be. It's in it. I don't think they want to. Do they want to go? Hold on a second. What's the best case scenario for the New York Giants?
Jameis Winston goes nutty.
7 wins. 7 wins is a good season, right?
For them, yes.
Yeah,
It's a fantastic season.
So why the shit would you start? Like, why throw Shador Sanders to the just listen, roll out.
Are you sitting here asking for the Giants to be sensible when they have not ever?
Did you see Hard Knocks last year? I don't think it's in their blood.
Yeah, they have DNA problems, right?
I think Jackson Dart's going to be a better pro than Shador.
I think
1,000%.
that's crazy to say that today. Because 2 years ago, we've never thought that.
Nope. Not true.
Really?
Hey!
Wow.
Called it.
Yeah!
Jackson Dart.
New York Giants. Shannon Plew.
How mad is the Sanders household right now?
Shannon Plew. Join the podcast. We got a resident Giants fan. We should have him on here.
I mean, this is what happens when you don't wipe your feet at the door at every single NFL interview you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you turn a lot of people off.
Listen, you're gonna have to go over here because we're gonna bring Shannon in.
So this is what
We gotta have a resident Giants fan sit in with you, buddy.
okay. This is what's crazy about this right here. So if you thought Shador Sanders didn't have a boulder on his shoulder,
Boulder, Colorado. He's definitely got one now.
Oh, whoever's gonna get him is gonna get a QB with a chip on his shoulder because he thought he was gonna be top 5.
Yeah.
He
Thought he was going to be top 5. Now, wow, that's crazy to me. I read all the mocks. I read all the opinion pieces. A lot of people were feeling like Jackson Dart was going to maybe it was a chance that Jackson Dart can go in front of Shador. Actually, seeing it though was something crazy. I thought some of it might have just been smoke. You see a lot of smoke this time of year.
I feel like the later you get in the round, though, the more that possibility comes to light. Because if you were gonna take a QB early, I think you try to take a flashy one.
Yeah.
But now we're like late in the round, and Jackson Dart, this is where he's almost projected
All
to be
right.
anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Pay. I have to do a little bit of an introduction here.
Yes,
We're gonna make room for my friend Shannon Plew. By the way, I've talked to him about doing a podcast before. Very knowledgeable football guy, great guy, Giants fan, and
Angry.
you can sit with him,
huh?
and he's angry. Yeah, a little bit, kind of like I was with the 17th pick
I'm happy to just wait for next year.
for Shamar
When it's
Stewart.
when it's a deeper quarterback class. Okay.
Let's you know what? We have been saying this about
Just tell
other
everyone
teams.
how mad you are that you didn't get Cam Scatterbo.
So
I did want Scatterbo.
I know you did.
Sit with him, hey.
You can still get him
Well,
in the 3rd round.
probably.
He'll be there. You'll be all right.
Man, just not my cup of tea.
All right.
I'd rather dart the other direction.
So you all traded. I like to turn the phrase. You all traded back into the first. You got possibly the best player in the draft.
Fine, I'm great with Carter.
Great with Carter,
Great.
and you don't assume Jackson
Probably
Dart.
the best pick. When was probably the best pick since the last time you took a Nittany Lion? Nittany Lion.
I think
He's the best draft pick since Saquon, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yes,
I would say that.
Whoa,
For
Neighbors is no pushover. I mean, Neighbors is a pretty good guy.
Very fantastic, especially with a limited quarterback.
Yeah.
room.
Top 12.
See, let's not do the big G thing. Let's not do the big G.
So I
thing.
think he's top 10. I was giving you a cushion, Penny.
I would.
Big
I would-
G would be like he's top 4.5.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly. G.
That's a big G.
I would more comfortable
Oh,
saying
we got to trade, guys.
15 is a great top 15 is for Neighbors. I'm more comfortable saying that. You can make the argument for top 12, top 10. I'm fine with it, but I think to be safe because he's a rookie, and in my opinion, you need to prove it.
2 years. Give me
Exactly.
2.
You got to prove it because once you come in and no one's seen you before, you've got a clean slate.
Right.
But now
There's a learning curve. There's a lot of film out there.
Exactly.
But I'll devil's advocate. I think he runs a great route tree and he's got hands that won't quit.
My devil's
I'll give
advocate
him the
is
12.
my devil's advocate is they force fed the hell out of him that first year. Yeah, they had to.
Okay.
You have
They
to,
had to.
especially after getting rid of Saquon.
You're
Yes.
jaded. It sounds like a Bears fan.
I'm not jaded.
No, him.
Oh,
I'm talking about Penny.
Well, I'm exactly.
I mean, I'm jaded about getting rid of
I'm-
Saquon.
Like, you're not
I'm
big. Yeah, I would be too.
frustrated.
It's ridiculous.
Frustrated Chicago's
There,
sports fan.
there you go. There you go.
All right, so let's talk
James
about.
Pierce.
So you don't think Jackson Dart's a good pick?
I am so.
It's a
mad
fine
about
pick, but I don't think he's a stopgap. I think there's the class next year is much deeper and much more talented,
True, and we've talked about that.
and we can. I mean, after the last 5 or 6 years, what's one more year of?
Do you think Jackson Dart is the best quarterback in this draft?
Nope.
Is that a possibility?
I wanted Milrow.
Really?
Yep.
I've never heard anybody say that.
Except one guy.
Wow. I didn't hear. I
And
haven't
listen, Kevin Tate
anyone
is
say that.
not here.
heard. Well, he wanted Milrow
And by the way,
from his draft position.
hold on a second. By the way, I talked to Plu a lot about our podcast.
Uh-huh.
Might be the only time I think he's agreed with Kevin Tate.
100%, 100%.
I think Jackson Dart's the second best quarterback in the draft. But
I think he's the best
I wouldn't have
quarterback.
traded up to
I
get
think
him.
he's the best.
Based on what?
No. Hold on. Time out. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. And I trade back in to the first round if I'm taking a quarterback. Whoever your quarterback is, I trade back into the first round so that I get 5 years. I get 5th-year control. Period, point blank. If you're going to take a quarterback, don't take a quarterback at pick 40.
Fair.
Trade back in and take them at 28.
That's fair.
Give up a draft choice or a whatever in order to have the 5th-year control. Because if you hit, you've gambled. I've gambled. If I didn't say anything, they'll get us canceled, right?
No.
If you hit, then you have that 5th year. Doesn't matter.
I don't see it.
So
All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna be reckless here.
I like it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Who was his coach at Ole Miss?
I remember
Kiffin.
who's down there.
Kemp, oh, that's right. Yeah, Lane Kiffin.
Right.
Lane Kiffin. Does Lane Kiffin tell you to be a great decision maker? He does not.
No.
He never has. He's always had fly by the seat of your pants and do crazy ass shit. And that's what he coached that dude to do. If you have a situation where you have you have 2 shit quarterbacks, right? But
Great.
you can learn. Jackson Dart can learn from check down Charlie. You can talk
From
about
Wilson?
Russell Wilson all you want to. Russell Wilson can read defenses and he will always just take what's there and blah, blah, blah. He's the opposite of what Lane Kiffin has taught Jackson Dart. Jackson
He's
Dart
super safe.
take too many chances.
Right.
Yeah. So now you have the opposite, right? So now you learn the opposite. And now maybe you get the sweet spot the following year. Love the 5-year commitment. I like the pick. I'm sorry that you don't. I'm telling you right now, I think the Giants have had a great first day.
I think they've had a great.
They got the
Had a
fucking
good
best.
first day.
Hold on a second.
Not great.
I want you to scratch that. You didn't hear that. You got the best player in the draft.
I agree.
And I think you got the best quarterback in the draft. And you
Yeah,
don't
but
believe
that's
it.
Getting the
He's
prom
better
queen at a
than-
welding school.
He's better than Kenny Pickett.
Right?
Nope. He's better than Kenny
Oh,
Pickett.
everybody's better than Kenny Pickett. You're better than Kenny Pickett.
That I agree with.
Well, he's got those tiny.
So
hands.
here's my thing. You did.
So is
we
Joe
all
Burrow.
agree. Best player in the draft, Abdul Carter.
100%.
You've got him.
Yep.
Adding him to an already pretty good defensive line.
What'd you
That-
give
in
up?
fact, your
Hey,
top-
wait.
your front 7 is
Do you
pretty
know what you
nice.
gave up in the trade?
A lot. 25, their second round pick, third round pick, and I think I can't remember.
Something
There were-
next year.
Maybe. There were
Is that what you're more
three-
mad
So-
about then?
so-
'Cause that makes sense.
It's one's a swap, and then so they gave up another pick this year and another pick next year. Basically,
still
Worth the
I had
swing.
my eyes on Scatterboo.
listen,
To go with Tracy.
worth the swing.
Get him next
Think
round. He'll
about
be
it.
there.
I know he'll. I mean, he's not gone yet. So
Think about
Man,
it.
Scotty will be there.
He'll be there, but worth the swing?
I don't know.
Question mark.
I watched what Drew Lock did in,
All right.
in week 16.
You know what? Would you rather have your draft or mine?
I'll take mine.
Did
All
you
right, cool.
wait? Did you say
Would you like
You would-
your
you
draft or his?
prefer
Your draft or
Drew
his?
Lock?
I'm just saying we had somebody there that can do what Dart's gonna do.
I think we know what Drew Lock is, right?
We don't. Did you see him? He showed out for no reason in week 16 to blow the
In what,
number
the
one
UFL?
overall pick. There's no reason to show out like that unless
Well,
you're fighting for a job.
Yeah, he's fighting
That's
for a job.
exactly who
what
he
it
is.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's unrealized potential out of Jackson Dart. In my opinion, you already won the first round because you got
Correct.
the best player.
I'm
I
fine.
think
now this is
Jackson
great.
Dart's the best quarterback. I think you got the best player and the best quarterback in the draft.
Allegedly.
But I don't
Like,
want the best
I
quarterback
said
in a
I
shitty
think
in a bad draft. Sorry.
you can
excuse
say
my
shitty. We're not
This
on.
is not-
we're not
this
on
is not
Steel
a
Curtain Network.
quarterback
You can say
rich
shitty.
draft.
It's not.
It's
not.
not.
So I don't care if I get the best quarterback in a garbage
No.
quarterback draft.
Mm. Stop it. I'm not comparing him to other quarterbacks. Let's
really
stop.
don't.
I'll
You
stop doing.
are.
I'll stop doing it in his draft class.
Correct.
I think you.
Wow. Baltimore wins again.
I hate your guts. Congratulations, Cincinnati
I enjoy
Bengals
watching.
fans. Instead of having a great free
Top
safety,
ranked quarters all time.
we
I'm all
gave
about
a
top ranked
great free safety to none other than the Baltimore Ravens, who now have Malachi Starks at free safety and maybe a guy you've heard of. Hamilton playing strong in safety.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so good.
Woo.
That's nasty.
Yeah, they're
Pay,
always-
that's nasty.
I kind of want to go
Always
into know-it-alls
nasty.
right now.
That's
I'll talk about
nasty.
shit.
All right, my boys are on the clock.
All right.
All right.
5 minutes.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
You have a chance to have the
To
best
what?
draft.
To be the third best team in the NFC East.
Next year, yes. 3 years from now, maybe second best team. Think about it.
Well,
They
so what-
just can't keep
what's-
chasing the Eagles.
What's this? What's the fascination with Jalen Milroe?
I just like his
Upside.
game. Upside. This is they need a slash running,
Game breaker, kind of
Just
big
something-
splash
something
play.
to break their mold. Their mold is stand in the pocket, sit there, and take it. Five-step drop.
5-step
Read-
drop.
Read your trees.
Bell
and go.
cow running back, which they've never had one of those.
What? I think you know.
They
what?
didn't give one of those to Philly.
You know what?
Over $2 million.
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
I-
you
I-
watched it on Hard Knocks.
And that's exactly where I'm going with this. As a Giant fan, I can see why this first round will probably annoy you a little bit because they had to swing for the fences
Mhm.
because this is a do it now or you're
If
fired.
you get
or
the
here.
draft
for
choice
Dable.
you like,
all of
and
them,
we
all
have
of them.
all of them.
You're
turn
right.
this around.
So
that
now
we
them
can
doing this now, you're probably thinking in the
film
back of
you
your
jumping
mind,
in.
Jumping
like,
in the pool.
damn, they're
I
gonna
think
be
we're
around a
going
little bit
to.
longer.
I think
Who you gonna get?
Don't like
You
that.
gonna get
I personally like Brian Dable.
edge help.
I don't think Brian Dable's the
Let's
problem.
go.
I don't either.
No,
Did
no,
not think
I
he was going to
watched
drop
Hard
to us
Knocks.
either.
I know what a problem is.
Up top.
Yes.
From when I sat down till now, I thought he was going to get scooped up.
He said we think Saquon we can get somebody equal, but we'll give all the money to Daniel Jones.
Oh, wow.
What's the depth out here? Mud.
And then
And how
Saquon,
does that read to America? What's that tell you?
stupidity.
But
5 feet. So
I don't want to go into a place where I shouldn't.
Backflip.
It was complete.
It's like
I
old
need
white
you.
money.
It was
Fair
yes.
enough. I'm
It was
not jumping in the
malpractice of a
pool.
football team.
Yes.
Um,
But even Mr. Merrick came in and he's like, I won't be able to sleep well if Saquon signs with Philly. And he sure did. And that boy has not slept a wink since.
Offensive Player of the Year, record-breaking season, record-breaking contract.
Record breaking everything, jumping backwards, putting his butt in the air
Oh.
backwards. Play of the year.
Turning down 2,000 yards. So you know what? I've done enough.
I'll do whatever you want, is what he said.
Yeah.
You want me to go out and get it? I'll get it. You want me to sit down? I'm happy to sit.
Mhm.
He didn't do anything in the Super Bowl.
No.
Nothing.
Didn't need to.
Nothing.
I just saw
The Eagles scored 2,000 points in the Super Bowl, and he had nothing to do with any of it.
No.
But he carried him there,
Yeah, he did.
but he did nothing.
And that's exactly
And
why
that's
all
how
this
rounded that team is. And I got to look up at that for the
Probably
next
take
5
those
years.
shoes
That's
off.
Yeah, I'm not cannonballing this over a 20.
So give me a quarterback like Hurts.
We're gonna
Give
put it
me
on-
something. Give me somebody fast
For
that
you
can
and Mike.
cut
I was
the
gonna
corner,
put it- I
just
was
take
gonna
it
put
outside.
I was gonna have him.
Come on back,
Selling.
scramble, arm, big arm. Give me Milrow.
All right, hold on a second. Is Quadfather in the building still?
Let's see.
Wow,
Yes,
that's awesome.
he's still here.
All right, Quadfather. I got a question for you. If the Detroit Lions get James Pierce, should Eric Kissel
He's off the board
jump
already.
in that pool?
James Pierce is off the board already.
Bro, the fit's
Oh, you got lucky.
the fit's too clean.
You know where James
It's good
Pierce is
fit.
playing?
No.
You want
Atlanta. Atlanta
Yeah.
drafted Jalen Walker and James
Too
Pierce.
fat to be in the center.
He's off the. I didn't see him get picked. When he
Atlanta-
went-
Where's
Atlanta
Reginald? Is
picked him.
Reginald
Oh, did they?
on this chat?
They picked
I know
3,
that.
4 edge rushers that
They picked
have
Jalen Walker
issues.
and James Pierce.
They have issues. All right.
I'm kind of scared of that.
Well, they got one good draft choice out of those two, and we don't know which one yet.
No,
If we get Will Johnson, I'm happy about that too. But we'll have too many cornerbacks.
Will, you guys play zone with Kirby and ooh.
Quadfather says, "Sir, I'm always in the building. How dare you question if I'm still here?"
How dare you? The audacity.
Green
I
Bay-
love you. I love you, Quad.
Green Bay fans are
All right,
bullying
here we
the
go.
Lions.
Pick is in. Who you got?
Quad, quit being a bully. Just ask
You
a
got
question.
It doesn't matter. We're winning the North.
Oh, here we go.
Will Johnson.
For now,
All right. There you go.
it's not a bad one.
I'm fine
There
with
goes
it.
G.
You got to be shitting me.
You rather have Tyleek too? Huh?
Had to be a Buckeye.
Rich get richer.
Had to be another Buckeye,
You gotta,
man.
you gotta live with that. You gotta live with that. If you're gonna have the NFL success, you're gonna have to take on some Buckeyes
Yeah.
down there.
I mean,
100%.
I mean, there's a lot of Wolverines that are dead to me now, so it's fine. Talking about you, JJ
Our
McCarthy.
teams suck at drafting people, Eric Kissel.
I don't think it's a bad pick.
Hey, listen, you know,
Do you know what blue collar means?
Yeah.
Shitty. Not good enough.
That's not true.
I don't know if that's what it means.
It does.
This country was built on blue collar.
I don't know, B. Let me ask Google. I don't know if that's what the definition of blue collar is.
I'm telling you, when you say I got blue collar interior lineman, he went to North Dakota State or he played
West
tackle at Ohio State or blah, blah, blah. They're normally dog shit. They normally dog shit.
Well, didn't Josh Allen play at one of those schools you named?
Wyoming.
Played at Wyoming.
Okay.
Nice
Close-
try, though.
Close enough.
But there are outliers.
You think
Okay.
that,
But I'm telling you,
Trey
as
Lance.
a
Yeah,
as
that's what I'm
a
thinking of.
as
That's dog
a
shit.
whole,
That's dog shit.
as a whole,
Uh-huh. Okay, all right. I
blue
mean,
collar means not athletic enough to be great.
now that I agree.
But big, dumb, and strong.
Ooh, I like
if
that.
someone used the
You like big, dumb, and strong. BDS? Can we BDS things?
we can big dumb and strong BDS.
Bring it back.
And if they went to Michigan, BDS.
I gotta be honest with you.
Totally different category.
I gotta be honest with you. Big G has been doing podcasts with us for, I don't know, 5 years. Never came up with something that clever.
I don't have a sign, but you know,
You got an adorable hat.
eventually I can get some markers.
Yeah, we'll
There's a
work on it.
6-year-old over here somewhere that can get me a sign.
I know she has a good. She got a supply somewhere.
Man,
I love
Sorry,
you.
Wills,
I love
huh?
you, G. I'm sorry.
That's a lie.
It is a lot.
Love to hate you.
All right, so out of the four of us, you got it. What would you grade your draft?
B plus.
B plus. I like that. 2 picks in the first round, B plus. Can't go wrong. Lions?
It's Brad. He always drafts well. I'll give it a B.
Okay. You know Brad does his homework.
F.
It would be.
An F. A damn F.
I don't like Shamar Stewart either for the first round pick. I don't know if I would have said F, but for the Bears, you're talking me into it.
D minus.
C minus.
Only because Jalen Walker was still on the board.
B plus.
B plus for the Bears, because that's what B Dirt wants me to see. He's telling me. He's telling me.
He's selling you.
He's selling me. He's selling me on
Selling and
Loveland.
telling.
I just don't think that the Bears need it.
Hey, Caleb Williams just got a binky.
Just got a binky, huh?
Just got a binky.
Security blanket.
Another binky
I can do. I mean,
to go with his collection of binkies because he's a baby because he's soft.
I don't know about that.
Damn.
I mean, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh.
A
Coming from
big,
the
he
team
got,
that
I mean,
used to
that's
run
a-
the North.
That's a divisional
Hey,
rival.
he
So
got,
you're gonna expect to
he
hear that.
got a binky.
I,
Look at you.
I mean,
He
I
got
like
a
binkies.
great
I like
binky.
binkies. What we needed was a blanket. We need someone to protect them. That's what we needed.
I'm just saying, it looks like we're
Hey,
gonna sweep the
guard
division
or
again.
tackle?
No big deal.
Guard or tackle?
Minnesota's dangerous.
Hey, guard or tackle?
No, they aren't. They
I
were
would
last
prefer-
year.
I would
They don't
prefer-
even
no,
know
we
who's
got
gonna be their
guards.
quarterback.
I'll prefer
JJ.
a left tackle.
Cool, they got a rookie
I would
quarterback.
prefer we upgrade from Braxton Jones.
Then you should have done it at that pick.
They,
But
Will Campbell off
if-
the board.
if you wanna-
Mimble off the board. Mimble's not a left tackle, so I guess
Yeah.
it could have been worse. We could have traded up and drafted a running back.
Hold on a second.
That would have pissed me
Let
off.
me ask
Hey,
you.
at least none
let
of
me
us are
ask-
Panther
Let me
fans,
ask you
'cause what the
this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
That's
that
just
was
a dumb team.
Is the left
Who did they
tackle
even take tonight?
category
Mhm.
kind of like
who
the
did they
quarterback
even take
category
tonight?
this year? Got one or
Uh,
two,
Yeah,
A wide
and then you
out.
got a bunch of guys in
Yeah.
rounds.
No one's ever heard.
2 for
I
4.
agree. So that's why I was
It's
saying
a
we
bad pick.
go defense, get Jalen Walker. I mean, at that you got a guy. Jalen Walker's a guy.
Dude,
I'm sorry, he's a dude.
Dude.
Jalen Walker's a dude.
He's a dude.
I don't.
not a jag.
Yeah.
dude.
So now,
Just a guy or a dude.
when they said Coastal Love, I'm like, what? I had no.
Oh. Dude.
You say he's a dude? It caught me off guard. It caught me off guard. We had no reason for a tight
Listen,
end.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I watched
Over
it. I
over
sat
the
right
past
over there and watched your face.
over the past 3 years, there have been Michigan players that have been drafted out of order
Mhm.
because of how well the team has done.
JJ McCarthy.
And I no. Bro,
I think McCarthy's gonna be decent. I think he's gonna be decent.
decent.
Decent's
Okay.
good. Decent's good.
We're gonna get another story or another conversation about JJ.
He's gonna be good for that team. I think so.
Yeah, he was really great at handing off the ball in Michigan, and I'm a Michigan fan.
He is going to be a top 5 quarterback
I agree.
How soon?
2 years.
I don't see it.
I like
You
to
think the
I
watching
don't
that game
care.
in
You
your
think the NFC
backyard.
North's gonna have 2 top 5 quarterbacks? Wow. Okay.
I
Well,
think
at least
Jackson
one.
Dart's going to be a better quarterback.
So
I said it.
Now you can say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm gonna throw
I'm-
him in the
listen,
fire.
So
and
what
then-
I'm saying is, I there's been some people I think have
Into
been
the cold.
We're just trying to make
overdrafted
Shannon feel better.
from Michigan.
Who?
Colston Loveland is not one of those guys.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Colston Loveland is a dude.
Okay.
He's going to be a top five tight end in the league. Top 5.
I like it. I mean, he's
Tight
a
end.
bear now, so I'm rolling with him. It just shocked me. It shocked me that we went tight end first.
You know what? Didn't expect it,
I would prefer we traded back if we got it.
but I did talk about it.
Yeah.
I did talk about it.
Yeah.
And I
Did
said it
Washington
wouldn't
just
be the
draft
worst thing
Dylan
you did.
Gabriel?
Yes.
It wouldn't be the
Yes.
best thing. It wouldn't be the worst thing you did with Brad Johnson and how he likes to run his offense. I said that on our show.
Right.
Why?
Laporta.
What?
Bowers,
That's what just happened?
Warren. You think he's going to be right in there? I'm thinking McBride, Laporta, Warren, Bowers.
Yep.
Really?
Warren? The hell out of here. The hell.
Is that
I'll bet you
is that
right
my,
now.
Is that my Penn State show?
I'll bet you $20 that Colston Loveland has more receiving yards than Warren next year.
Okay.
Right now.
Hold on, my brain hurts right now. Washington just drafted a quarterback in the first round. Is that what just happened?
No.
Oh,
They
you
took
see
a
that?
secondary.
I was wondering why they're showing Dylan Gabriel and they just picked. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, yeah, it's right
Because the
here.
Bills definitely aren't drafting a
Hey.
quarterback.
Is that the, is this mine?
Yes.
That's your phone?
Not mine.
Oh, it's mine.
I have no idea about it.
Yeah, that's why he put it there.
That's him.
Nice. The light's still on in the back.
So mine died over here.
Are we still on? Are we?
Yeah. All right. So first round is over. Shador Sanders is still on the board.
Big surprise.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's a much surprise to most people.
It's not
He
over.
didn't even come to the. He didn't even go to Green Bay.
No. I mean, who would go to Green Bay? They have to.
Listen, it's in Pittsburgh next year.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm sure all the people that are there,
I'll be
they want to
working
draft
that.
right now, are like, why am I here in Green Bay?
I mean, you fly into Green Bay. You got what? You got your choice between a La Quinta, a Best Western. They're giving out cheese curds at the airport. Like, fuck, I should turn around.
In the linebacker lounge.
Yeah,
That's all you
they
got.
got a statue of Jack Haley in the airport.
Really?
Yes. I mean,
You got a Dollar
sorry.
General,
That's-
Golden
that's
Corral, a Dollar Tree, and then Lambeau, and then another Golden Corral.
Yeah.
That's the
Pittsburgh.
strip.
That sounds about right.
That's that strip in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But no one wants to play there.
Just because.
This is quite a fucking fire pit.
Yeah, it is. It's very impressive. All right, we're going to sign off from the Running Through the Jungle podcast. B would like me to say that he is effing frustrated with the draft pick.
That he is.
You're in the jungle, baby.
You gotta live.
And the Giants just
Easy.
died.
There will be a
Hey, you
more-
gave him an F, not me.
I did not. I gave him a B plus.
Oh, yeah,
You
you
gave
did.
him a B
Oh, Brandon gave
plus?
the Bengals an F.
There'll be a more concise breakdown of what the Bengals did. I want one with less sauce in Brandon's system later on in the week after the celebration of the wedding of the weekend. So thanks for everyone. Thanks for watching. What did they say? Who day?
Everybody day.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.